Imagine a small disc tethered to a string. A yo-yo poised to spin down and snap back with a flick of the wrist, a quiet wonder of motion. Picture it resting in an open hand, the string pinched halfway down by another set of fingers. With a swift tug, the lower hand releases. The yo-yo drops, recoils, and whirls in a lively dance, dangling from the string above. What sparks that rhythm? The answer might seem obvious. The hand let go. Yet take a box instead, balanced flat on a palm, held by its string. Pull the hand away with flair, and the box hangs still, inert. The difference lies not in the tug, but in the yo-yo's core, a coiled design primed to flare into motion. External forces tease it out, but the dance belongs to its own makeup. This is the essence of pattern thinking. Seeing how a thing's inner weave drives its steps. Once that lens sharpens, the world's workings unravel. It stumbles clear, its smoother paths ripe for shaping. Amid chaos and flux, this view pierces the din, spotlighting roots to tend and seeds to sow. So, what defines a pattern? It's a tapestry of elements, people, mechanisms, thoughts, interlaced to hum a distinct tune over time. Outside nudges might stir it, but the response echoes from within, rarely a straight note in life's tangled score. With a yo-yo, the thread's easy to trace. With families, markets, or nations, it's a revelation. The pattern fuels its own sway. A push might ignite one web into a familiar jig, yet the same push on another spins a wholly new refrain. Pause. To consider, a city's rise or fall doesn't hinge on a mayor's decree. It ripples from the lattice of commerce and confidence beneath. Rival stores don't snatch patrons away. They feast on gaps carved by earlier choices. A drought doesn't alone jolt food costs. It's the brittle mesh of fields and trade that turns scarcity into upheaval. A cold doesn't seek its prey. It slips through doors left ajar by weary nights and frail guards. Gambling's hold isn't one person's falter. No lone figure, hero or saint, unravels it. It's a snarl of forces and settings, eased only by mapping the full knot. These insights land like a brisk wave, startling, yet oddly familiar. That tension flows from two streams shaping perception. One is the honed urge to box life neatly. Tracing, crisp lines from cause to effect, fixing what's broken by adjusting the external. It's a potent reflex. Pinning blame on leaders, competitors, weather, or microbes keeps control in reach. Yet an older current runs deeper, predating such divisions. Bodies pulse as living patterns, breath, heartbeat, a symphony within. Friends, teams, rivers, forests, all weave their own rhythms, felt instinctively, swayed with wordless ease. Modern pattern thinking, cloaked in charts and tools, simply amplifies this ancient pulse. It's why timeless adages endure. Delay too long, and a ripple becomes a rift. Nip it in the bud. Victory's edge grows keener with each gain, widening the gap. The strong flourish, the weak drift. A system with deep roots weathers the gale. Don't stake all on one throw. Since steam engines roared into being, logic's glare has outshone intuition's whisper. Pointing outward, trumps peering within. Quick solutions, laws, devices, remedies, promise to smooth life's creases. Such focus has felled titans, fevers banished, harvests heaped, distances shrunk. Yet those triumphs nest in broader webs, and fixes can sprout barbs. Persistent snarls, poverty, waste, idle hands, ceaseless strife, defy cleverness. No one wills them. They rise unbidden, shadows of the patterns woven. They'll shift only when the threads are rethought. This clarity dawns plainly, a subtle uprising, ancient, yet new. It's a balm. Control lies within reach. It's a call. Fresh sight, and action beckon. What follows is a guide to that vision, crafted for those who sidestep systems jargon, yet have long sensed patterns pulse. Technical clutter falls away, revealing how a simple shift unveils vast terrain. Words alone falter here. They trudge in line while patterns swirl wide. Sketches and timelines step in, unfolding like maps to grasp at once. The journey begins small, then binds pieces into living loops. A pattern gallery emerges next, familiar setups instantly recognized, their struts and staggers laid bare, their haunts traced, even within. Why do these forms dazzle one moment and derail the next? Why do noble aims stack into wrecks? Why do lags or leaps surprise? Why does a steady tactic fade, or a quiet weave burst into wildfire? This lens spotlights recurring ruts. The shared, well parched by overuse, the sliding bar that shrinks ambition, the pushback when edicts grate, the hooks snaring beyond mere vices. Labeled blueprints, these shapes breed strife but, with a twist, can flourish. From there, pivot points surface, junctures, where a nudge rewrites the rhythm. The closing strokes distill enduring lessons, forged in the wrestle with pattern's ways. For the curious, a tail-end guide offers terms, texts, principles, and a dash of math. Years ago, a band of thinkers roamed campuses, puzzling over connections. A keen professor trailed them, observing. "You're peculiar," he remarked. "Questions. Others skip draw you in. Angles escape me, yet you catch them. What's the secret?" That riddle unfolds here, especially at the end. Pattern thinking doesn't outshine the urge to dissect, it pairs with it. Eyes see one truth, a lens another, a constellation a third. Patterns knot them together, each view illuminating reality, their blend igniting awe. In a globe ever tighter and swifter, more vantages bolster stability. This approach hones a sense of the whole, enabling parsing the parts, tracking the threads, testing tomorrow's what-ifs, daring to recast the dance. Thus, the world and its dwellers shift step by step, expanding the tapestry, the yo-yos, lesson stretches wide. Its dance isn't the hands alone, but a spark within, teased out. Cities hum from their own weave, trust and trade, not a leader's baton. Shops thrive or fade on patterns set long before rivals swoop. Droughts turn dire through fragile links, not just dry skies. Health bends to inner rhythms, not mere germs. Gambling's snare is a web, not a lone thread. Unraveling demands the full view. This shift challenges the tidy boxes of blame. A mayor's edict, a rival's ploy, a weather shift. These stir the pot, but the stew simmers from within. Logic's triumphs, vaccines, rails, plenty, stand tall, yet thornier webs resist. Hunger lingers not from want of will, but from patterns unaddressed. Waste piles, jobs vanish, conflicts flare, shadows of unseen designs, reworking them demands seeing anew. The gallery of blueprints deepens this. The shared well, a resource, drained by all, mirrors towns overfishing streams or firms overworking talent. The sliding bar, standards easing, shows in teams cutting corners or dreams downsized. Pushback flares when rules chafe, like workers dodging mandates. Hooks bind habits, coffee, bets, screens, tightening with each tug. Tweaking these shifts, ruin to reward. Pivot points amplify this power. A well's rules can ration use. A bar's reset can lift sights. Pushbacks eased by choice. Hooks loosen with new lures. Small moves, vast ripples, pattern thinking finds them. Interlude. The riddle of the weaver's lumen. A distant valley, blind weavers filled a town. A traveler arrived, towing a creaking loom he claimed wove marvels. He set it in the square, and the curious groped forward. One touched a gear, a rough wheel. Another grasped a shuttle, a swift dart. A third felt the frame, a firm beam. Each clutched a shard and named it truth, blind to the whole. The tale whispers. Patterns elude those who seize only pieces. Closing the circle. This lens marries instinct and reason. The yo-yo spins, the city grows, the gambler falters, all sing their own songs. Slicing life thin builds wonders. Seeing it, whole tames shadows. Together they light the way, one steady step at a time.